happened? We've gotten a big technical glitch at this point in time in our system. Trust technology to be your worst enemy. I think I now feel the BCCI. They think technology is their worst enemy, and I tend to agree with them for once because our technology is gone turtle today.
But I think the BCCI is its own enemy also.
Let's not get that. So, okay. What has happened in the toss is that for people who are joining us on this news stream is that Australia have chosen to bat. No Shubman Gill in the Indian team, which was expected, and I think he will also miss the second game against Afghanistan also. I don't think you're making a recovery from dengue that soon.
No.
As Gargi also pointed out some time back, it's very difficult. Weakness will remain.
Exactly. I mean, I remember I had it years back, and even after you recover, it takes you about a week or so to kind of get back into normal groove because it's very tough to eat.
Yeah.
You're on very heavy medication. It does take a toll.
Also, dengue is one of the illnesses that does impact your platelet count and all of that.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
don't
very
remind me.
important to recover from.
What's good, what the silver lining in all of this is the fact that there aren't any reports doing the rounds of him losing platelet count or his platelet count dropping.
We have no.
Those aren't, and there aren't any reports.
Thankfully.
Thankfully at the moment, and I hope it remains that way because that's the last thing you want to hear. And also the amount of chaos that such reports could then spread. You don't want that right now. So let's just hope he gets well as soon as possible and join the team.
So that is the situation that we have got. And by the way, this is also the 150th ODI that India and Australia want to play against each other. You think India, okay, it's obvious India Sri Lanka at the top 167. You had a dearth of India Sri Lanka matches for a very, very long time. And that's why India versus Australia.
I wasn't complaining, by the way, Siddharth.
No one is.
For
India,
Sri Lanka.
You are not. Clarity. You are not complaining of this. Why? Because they could be bowled out for 50 every single.
At least then you're guaranteed series wins, that way.
Oh, it's like how Misbah-ul-Haq has spanned the Pakistan team. Oh, we won against Australia C and D teams and we became number one. That was how it is. It's like this argument. Please, India, Sri Lanka at one particular point, and you need novelty in a rivalry. I mean, if suppose, why do you think India versus Pakistan only ICC events is still considered to be a hype, despite the lopsided nature of it?
Because there's no bilaterals. And also, I'm sorry, you're talking about novelty in a rivalry. India Sri Lanka has neither novelty nor a rivalry.
It had. By the 80s, when Sri Lanka used to beat them, it used to be like a small emerging nation beating India. But then with so much India, Sri Lanka, everywhere, remember, India and Sri Lanka have played in every country, barring New Zealand. They have featured in every.
Give it time.
But New Zealand never hosts tri-series. It was the last time they hosted a tri-series, barring a T20 series, 1995.
Oh,
that was the situation, and I'm getting parallel.
I think he's checking the audio.
Yeah, I was just checking the audio, and I thought before we dive into action, which is just about 8 minutes away.
By the way, there seem to be good crowds there today.
Yes, it was expected. Much unexpected lines. There are all these supporters as well.
You are not going to see empty seats in India games. You will never see it.
Plus, I mean, Australia won't have visa issues, right?
Exactly. And remember, most of them are wearing that 1992 jersey. Oh man.
Saket wants to know why we're sitting so close to each other.
Saket,
that is anyway.
The perils of technology, my friend.
Actually, we couldn't have made the frame wider, so we had to kind of huddle up a little bit. It's okay. We're a close-knit team.
And we are, but this is not our ideal way of getting cozy. So don't be mistaken.
We have ideal ways of getting cozy with each other.
No.
News to me.
I want to know what that truck is.
I think we carried the maybe.
No, but it's carried by someone else.
Was it a real truck? Or was it a graphic?
It's small.
That wasn't a graphic, I don't think.
I've seen it in every match and I wonder why it's kept there.
Must be for the ball?
Maybe. Yeah, sometimes they have these gimmicks to take the
box.
All that box.
You remember in the Bundesliga, if I'm not wrong, it would come in a dummy Volkswagen car. The ball
my personal favorite is the French league is sponsored by Uber Eats. So they have like a delivery guy of Uber Eats come to give the ball every single day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's very weird, but yeah.
It is novel.
Was it not in a game of cricket where the ball was sent through a drone or something?
In the IPL. A World T20 Australia.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It came through a drone, right?
And you have to have that world record catch from a height.
No,
you have to
that,
take it.
that was a challenge.
Ah,
There was a challenge.
as part of build up for the World T20.
Recently, right now.
No.
The Australian team, I believe.
English.
No, the English team, yes.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Anyway, we don't have any of those gimmicks happening in this
Exactly.
World Cup, but what's happening at the moment is, and that we can tell you.
Marina, the beautiful Marina Beach. It is just walking distance from the stadium.
It is.
It is. So it will be absolutely wonderful.
It's a lovely stadium, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a lovely stadium. And I think the stands, the issue with the stands is also now sorted.
Yeah.
For the longest time, there was a part of the stands which could not be used,
Yes.
and that issue went
IJK
on
stands.
for years and years and years. There was a court battle as well, by the way, that it ran into.
Yeah.
And it took quite some time. In fact, on my last visit to the stadium, that issue was still existing.
Exactly.
And I remember dining at the pavilion as well.
Right.
Good food and beverages over there.
Exactly. So that is why I would look at the stadium from being the worst. Trust me, in the 80s and 90s, it was terrible as a viewer to be there because of the heat, because of the humidity, plus concrete stands. Oh, and plus you would have that wind because of the sea breeze and the wind.
Yeah.
The stench that would come from the nala, that's the
Yeah.
Kumam there. Oh man, many people would get really sick because of it. But yeah, now it's a very beautiful stadium. It's now gotten much more better facilities than compared to the 80s and the 90s. And it's going to be a cracking contest. I mean, India's national anthem is about to start. The Australia.
One is done with.
Yep. So
Yeah.
We can take a couple of comments to that
Yeah.
point. Cobra Head says that if the Oz score big, then our batting depth will be pressed and found out. Jadeja and Ashwin aren't going to cut it back against the wall. I mean, Jadeja, to be fair, nearly won you a World Cup semi-final with his back against the wall. So disagree a little bit.
Yeah, but then see,
But
he's
maybe
not
he's
within form.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
he's
the
coming from the
problem.
place where, of course, you've not seen Ravindra Jadeja contribute with the bat. In my recent memory, at least, I don't remember that happening. And those were occasions I remember against Pakistan the other day when you were playing in the Asia Cup. Bangladesh as well, I think he got to bat.
Yeah, he got to bat.
So wasn't effective.
Yeah, Grenville De Rogo, Siddharth sir, and Shane sir.
Yeah.
You know Sean also.
No, that's
Sean Das.
Sean is very old. Again,
Yeah.
for years, having that one Y in your name kind of consigns you to having your name pronounced everywhere. Sean is at least an actual name.
Thank you so much, Grenville.
Okay, so we now have one other alter ego.
No,
Yes,
Shane and Sean.
yes.
Nah.
then quite cut it.
Shan.
Then quite cut it.
Yeah. Oh,
Nothing beats Mohit.
Yeah. Now, Saket Mishra, I think we have to do our analysis first. We always carry India in our hearts here. That's all.
Dil se kya?
एक ही आवाज है. So, what do you think that I missed somebody, I don't know the name, but then they had asked what would be the right total for India to restrict Australia to? If India are not to be put under pressure.
280.
On this deck, I think if they get to 220 also, I think.
No, I get your point, but I'm saying you don't really know over 50 overs. Sometimes the nature of the pitch can also kind of change.
It can.
So you never really know. Maybe early on you'll get some of this thing. What if it settles? Then you don't know. And by the way, also another thing, Australia do have some good batters. What if they play it out and then get set, figure out how the pitch is playing, and then go hammer?
Could very well happen. So yes, the onus is on Bumrah and Siraj to ensure they get the strikes in the power play. And then what the ideal Indian template should be: get about 2 or 3 wickets in the power play area, then get the spinners unleashed on that deck and curb the run flow in the middle overs. And that's it. You have restricted them to under 220, 230. That is the ideal way how you can go because I don't see. I don't know, I might be wrong here. I don't know if it's a 300 wicket.
No, actually, I think today you're going to see for kids who were born in the, early 2000s, Gen Zs, you're going to see what ODI cricket looked like in the 90s, 250s. 250 being tough. I think you could very well see that.
I know. So,
Or, of course, Australia's openers could go hell for leather and make us all look like
it's
fools.
Marsh and Warner who are coming out to
I
bat.
was kind of expecting
Yeah.
that. The other option would have been Head, with a Head in there. So
Is
Why
it
not
a-
Green?
Green.
Green, no.
But the
Marsh,
one-
I mean, Warner and Green.
Yeah, but I think
same impact.
They
That's
went
why
I
with
get your
this-
point, but I think-
they went with this pair only in the recently concluded
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's how you
exactly.
knew. That's how you knew.
You
Yeah.
sort of got your hint there.
Yep. So remember, these teams are very familiar with each other, and it's going to be a cracking contest indeed. So my vote is I think
Score
Australia,
predictions very
yeah,
quickly because first ball in about 30 sets. So yeah,
Yes,
we got
sir.
to wrap up in that time.
maybe 210 Australia.
Seriously.
I think so. I don't see this being a 300 plus wicket here.
Okay.
But then you're leaving 90 runs in between.
Nah, wait.
I got my score prediction wrong.
Okay, quickly.
140
210 then.
210 in India. Win.
Gargi.
285. India win.
285 India win.
260 and India will chase it. Right?
I'll go 278 Australia and India win.
Yeah, of course. You're wearing blue. Come on.
Exactly.
I won a
That's
neutral
the
color.
responsibility.
Yep, I won a neutral color, so
So-
we can say that.
Alright, thank you guys so much then for joining us. Match is about to start. Stay tuned. We will be bringing you plenty more from, of course, the World Cup, everything else happening. Two big day in terms of sporting action today as well. But of course, all eyes are going to be in the India-Australia match. So thank you so much for joining us 2 times around, thanks to some technical issues. But don't forget, if you enjoyed our work, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, follow us on social media, download the Sports the Cap, and stay tuned. Plenty more coming your way. For now, though, from Siddharth, Harshit, and Gargi, and of course me. Bye bye.